Hello and welcome back to Pinstripe Press, episode 36. Coming back to you after the Oakland A's series where the Yankees went 2-2. Not the best outcome from this series, especially against this struggling team. Although they haven't looked horrible this season, you'd really hope to at least win 3 out of these 4 games. Obviously, that didn't happen, and we'll get more into those games in a bit. But how we doing, Ryan?
Doing good on a Friday. A little bummed, like you said, you don't win that series versus the A's. But we've talked about it. You can't underestimate that team. They've got some guys on that team. Phil Nevin's son's on that team, right?
Yeah. I know he's related to him somehow.
Yeah. But pretty much, I don't know. It went how you could expect it to go, at least. The Yankees kind of sleep on them and, they pull away with 2 games there. But I don't know. I mean, it's still the same stuff we're seeing, same mistakes. Pitching's continuing to do well, too. The starters and the bullpen. It's just the offense. Again, it's another series, another disappointing offensive performance from the Yankees.
Yeah. I mean, there's one of the games where the offense was doing well, but other than that, I'd say offense was pretty poor. But yeah, Yankees are now, I believe it's 17-9. So yeah, going into a Brewers series starting this weekend, and no longer in first place in the AL East. The Orioles are 16-8, so they just have a better win percentage than us. Yeah, so I mean, still feeling good. I think the team's playing still pretty well. But, we're not on top of the world like we were, right at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
So, yeah, a couple quick things. Got some league moves. Johnny Cueto is signing with the Rangers just to improve some of their rotation depth. Also got Jackson Holliday, who was just optioned to AAA after a rough start to his MLB career. Only a couple hits for him in, a handful of games. So no longer going to be seeing him when we play the Orioles. And also in the Yankees news, we got DJ LeMahieu set back after his 1 inning in AA. He was pulled, and now it's looking like he will have to be shut down for at least another week, and then, he might get some more action down in AA, down in the minors. And also, we have claimed right-handed pitcher Michael Tonkin off waivers from the Mets, and we optioned Cody Morris to Scranton. Tonkin is just going to be another bullpen guy. Hasn't had the greatest of seasons, pitched 9 innings thus far and has a 6 ERA, but someone that can be an arm, towards the back end of the bullpen. So, yeah, that'll be what the roster's looking like for this upcoming series.
Yeah. I think that DJ news is a little, I don't know if it's a little concerning, but that definitely stinks. His rehab game, that first appearance, he gets out early. So that's definitely not good. Another setback. But I don't know. And I feel like no one's hitting. So even, if DJ comes back, how much of a spark is he going to provide when, the rest of the offense isn't producing?
Yeah, I think also you don't want him to come back when he's not fully healthy.
Yeah.
Because, at this point we're still winning some games, and we're not playing at our best, and we're still winning a lot of games. And, you don't want to have someone on the major league roster that's, has a lingering issue that, could affect his performance or even make him sit out later in the season. So, yes, we don't want to rush him back like we've seen in previous years with other players. But for right now, I think it's it's time to get the offense going again, because heavily relying on pitching right now. But yeah, with that, I think we'll get started on this recap of this 4-game series versus the A's. Game 1 was a 2-0 loss where the Yankees only put up 3 hits, and the bullpen ends up giving in to Oakland, which gets them the win.
Yeah, not a good game, and that Boone getting ejected was pretty funny too, from that fan saying something.
Yeah.
But I mean, Boone was saying stuff before that, so he shouldn't have been ejected. But it's like, I don't know. Like sometimes, I think what should happen is, I don't know. I guess the should have been like, all right, that's my bad. But the ump's already fired up because Boone's already getting in his ear. If he hears something that way, he's gonna assume it's probably Aaron Boone talking.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. Thing is, just the way he said, the umpire said, I don't care who said it afterwards. That just, put a bad taste in my mouth. But yeah, I mean, Boone got his warning from the umpire and shut up after that. So he did his job to not get, ejected, which he shouldn't have, but he was anyways. Not going to use that as an excuse as to why we lost this game, but still, just a poor way to start the series. And yeah, ended up being a really solid outing for Rodon, 7 innings. Only 1 hit given up, not a ton of strikeouts, only 4. But, he really ran through their lineup multiple times pretty quickly. And, we also couldn't hit either. So it's a 0-0 game going into the late innings, and Victor Gonzalez gives up a couple runs late in the game in the 9th. Homer to Zach Geloff, which ended up putting the game away. The Yankees didn't have a hit after the 5th inning, and only 3 of them in the whole game.
Yeah, that was a bad game. I mean, he also got shut out by J.P. Sears.
Right.
I mean, 3 hits for the Yanks. I mean, what are we doing? 3 hits to the A's too, which are already not good, and they already got so much other stuff going on with them, and it's just like, what is that? That's just I don't know. I continue to just not understand what's going wrong. Why is the offense just not producing?
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's a big concern, obviously, because if you don't score runs, you're not going to win games. A perfect example here in this game, and also in Game 4, which we'll talk about, but putting up 0 runs here, putting up 1 run in Game 4. And, you could say we're lucky to get away with the win in Game 2 as well. So the offense is struggling. Don't really know why. Yeah, I think at this point you don't really have those guys that, your Volpes and Sotos and Cabreras. They're not going up there and batting 400 anymore. They're still doing decent. They're still doing good, but they're not going up there getting a hit every other at bat. So, without that and without Judge performing, you don't really have that much of an offense.
Yeah. Just not good at all. And then, I don't know I really don't understand it. I mean, unless, I don't know what's gonna, I don't know. So now it seems like we're now gonna waste these our starting rotation right now. They're good outings too. What if the offense starts to get going, and then now the pitching goes back to giving up 6-7 runs a game? I don't know. It just seems like you can't find that perfect balance.
Yeah, there's always something going on. I think
Yeah.
regardless, we just got to be happy that we're still winning some games, but still against one of the worst teams in the league, you don't really want to be splitting a series with them. Yeah, but yeah, going into game 2, things look like they're going to start turning around. First inning, 4 runs scored. Had the 2-run homer by Rizzo and also a 2-run double by Stanton. Which gave us 4 runs in the first inning, and yeah, it looked like we were going to turn this around. I mean, we did win this game, but we only had 5 hits in this game as well, so still not a great performance.
5 hits. Yeah, they score 4 in the first, and then they don't do anything. And they honestly might have gotten no hit the rest of the game outside those first 2 innings. I'm pretty sure they might have.
Yeah, I mean, they only got 5 hits. We had, I'm not exactly sure. I know we had the Soto hit, the Stanton hit, the Judge double, the Rizzo homer, and then
Yeah, so first inning we had 4 out of the 5 hits.
Yes.
And second
Trying to
inning
see
we had
where the
our
other
hit.
one.
So we got no hit the rest of the game. That's not good.
Yeah.
I mean, we like happy we won it, but it's like at that performance, it's not good at all. I mean,
Yeah,
Stroman had a
definitely.
good game too.
Yeah, Stroman, his outing kind of looks a little worse because he gave up a couple homers. But he had 9 strikeouts in 5 1/3. Only the 3 earned runs, which all came on the 2 homers. Oh no, I'm thinking of a different pitcher. He did give up 2 homers, but they only counted for 2 of the 3 runs. Yeah, so gave up a couple solo shots, which put the A's back within 1. But altogether, Stroman had a really good outing, 9 Ks, 97 pitches, and yeah, ERA stays under 3 for him. And yeah, we pull out with this game. Bullpen kept it together with a few guys getting it done. Ron Marinaccio, Caleb Ferguson, Dennis Santana, and Clay Holmes, who gets the save. So yeah, we end up winning this game. A little bit lucky to get away with that one, just because the bullpen, really carried us there, and no offense after the first inning.
Yep, same story. But game 3 gets a little bit better. Gets to how we want the Yankees to perform, to be honest. 11 hits, 7 runs. And this was Judge's homer that passed Jeter on the all-time list. So shout out to him. Hopefully Judge can start going. And then Soto homer too, and so did Rizzo. And Schmidt had a good outing. I was right about to text Mike about it. Clark's really starting to get going, and then he gives up, a 3-run bomb. So I mean, 3 runs given up for him, but I mean, you look at his stats throughout the season. 3 runs given up, 2 runs, 1 run, and then this 3 runs. So not too bad, honestly. But it's still, I mean, you look at his innings pitch, he can't go past 6. He hasn't gone past 6 one game.
Yeah, so the same issues with Schmidt. But honestly, before that 6th inning, he looked really, really good. The first 5 innings were really good. But yeah, obviously that one big mistake to give up the 3 runs in the 6th inning. At that point, we're still up 5-3, and we managed to hold on to this game and score a couple more runs. Win 7-3. Bullpen gets it done with Luke Weaver and Ian Hamilton. So yeah, good win there.
Mm-hmm. And then game 4, it's kind of similar thing. Yanks drop this one somehow. Like, how do you get 11 hits and only score 1 run? Like, that's not make any sense.
Yeah. Yeah. I we said this on our Instagram, but how did we lose this game? Especially after that first inning, um, had bases loaded. The first few guys get on, and we run into an inning-ending double play. So, also had another inning-ending double play with bases loaded later on in the game. 11 guys left on base throughout this game, and then we only score 1 run. With the way the pitching went, 7 innings for Nestor, only 3 runs given up. We should have definitely won this game, and we didn't. We lose this game 3-1. Not much else they can say. I mean, the offense, we had guys on base, but we weren't, hitting with runners in scoring position, which has been one of our strengths this season, hitting with runners in scoring position. But we don't do that today, in this game. And yeah, I mean, yeah, with Nestor's outing, he gave up the 2 early homers in the 3rd inning, giving up 3 runs there. Other than that, he really bounced back and got 7 strong innings, so only giving up 3 runs. Yeah, you feel like that gives the offense a chance, but we really didn't get it done today.
Yeah. Yankees split that series, and I think it could have been worse, I guess. I guess that's what you can say, but was not good at all. They probably should have swept this series. Both games that they lost, they had chances to win it. And I think the moral of the story is we just aren't scoring. We might be getting on base, but we just can't score. And, that's the offense. The pitching is keeping us in the game, giving us these opportunities, and once again, not taking advantage of it at all.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, this game 4 might be even more frustrating than game 1, where we only had 3 hits, because we had the chances in this one and we didn't take advantage of them. And the other one, obviously, it's frustrating, a boring game to watch where we only put up 3 hits, but it's not like we could have easily won. We know with that offense that day, we weren't winning. But I think, obviously a really winnable series, and then we ended up coming away with only 2 of the 4 games. It's a little frustrating, especially against the A's. But we move. We're still got one of the best records in the league, and we still got some hope if the pitching keeps pitching like this, and there's a good chance that the lineup bounces back.
Good, bad, and ugly here. Good, bad, and ugly. Start off with the rip, the ugly. You heard it. I mean, just the offense in game 1. It was just bad. Again, I mean, the whole season, it's been on and off, and that's what I don't understand. It's that bad in game 1, and then game 2 and 3 you get double-digit hits. Even game 4, the rest of the way, you get double-digit hits, and I don't know, just aren't capitalizing. So it's definitely been ugly to watch, especially versus the teams like the A's too, where how bad they are.
Yeah. So yeah, that game 1 was not fun to watch. Definitely an ugly performance. But yeah, I think all things considered, I don't think there's like any one person that had a terrible performance this series. But I think just in general, that offense was not very strong.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the bad, Clark Schmidt, we need him to go more than 5 innings. Like, plain and simple, we need him to. And just like, yeah, we continue to say it every time. It's just that 6th inning just gets shelled and then just sets up the team in a bad position, regardless how that start goes for that offense. It's just bad, And that's the it's it's not like, oh, he gets to the 6th inning and he gives up, okay, maybe like 1 run here, but like there's times where he gives up 3 runs, maybe gets in a big hole 4, gets the bases loaded, then a reliever comes in and then it just goes downhill.
Yeah, I mean, like, not necessarily the worst performance by Schmidt, but still, he's just not getting over this hump, not doing what we want him to do, running into the same issue every single time, where he gets stuck in that 6th inning. So that's why we gave him the bad. Obviously, looked really good in the first 5 innings, but that is our reasoning for giving him the bad this episode. Then going into the good, big positive here. Someone who hasn't got a lot of praise this year, got Anthony Rizzo, who ended up hitting 2 homers in this series in back-to-back games, and altogether had one of the stronger performances out of any Yankee this series.
Yeah, that was definitely good to see. You miss seeing Rizzo hit those homers because lately we haven't really seen him step up like that, performed how we know he can. So I think that was great to see. Kind of just like, I don't know, rejuvenated you. Like, I don't know, because if he's an underrated piece if he can get going. But he's part of the conversation that's leading this offense to no production. He's one of the main guys who has not been performing. So hopefully this series kind of sparks something. And yeah, I mean, that's, a good series all around for him, back-to-back homers too. Definitely good to see.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, he's right in the middle of that lineup. And if he can get going, he can be right there with Soto and Judge and, possibly Stanton, because Stanton's been a little bit better recently. So if you got the 2 of them right behind 2 of the best players in the league, that is a force to be reckoned with. So got to get those guys going. And yeah, glad to see Rizzo getting it going in this one.
Yeah. So that leads us into our moments rankings. Been a lot of bad moments this series, but there were some good that we found, and some of those were that Judge homer, obviously a big moment. A big moment in Yankees history too. Obviously passing Jeter, so one captain to another. So that homer, Boone's ejection, definitely a questionable one for someone who gets ejected a lot. Obviously known for having his players back, which I don't really know if that's a good stat or not. I feel like that's overused by him. Rodon's outing, which was strong, like we talked about. Pretty much shut out the A's there too. And then we just referred to Rizzo's back-to-back home run games.
Another tough one. I think in my 4, I'll have to go the Rodon outing. Obviously, it was a really good outing, 7 innings, but it wasn't anything like super spectacular, not a ton of strikeouts. But yeah, still a good outing. In my 3, I think I'll go the Rizzo homers in back-to-back games. Yeah, it's obviously really good to see him going. Um, yeah, to see him get going again. Um, and yeah, a good series. But as a moment, it happened over 2 games, so I can't put it any higher than that. In my two, I'll go with the Judge homer. Obviously, a big moment in Yankees history, passing Derek Jeter on the all-time Yankees home run list with 261. Um, and yeah, he's still only 31 years old, got plenty of years with the Yankees left, so he's gonna, you know, shoot up that list even more. And especially with how he's been playing, it was good to see him hit a home run once again. That puts the Boone ejection in my one. Although it wasn't a great moment for like Yankees fans, it was still really fun, something unique and interesting. Um, Also, the fan trying to hide his identity after he got caught out doing yelling at the ump. But yeah, that was just a funny moment. Um, yeah, maybe not the best thing for the Yankees, but still, as a fan, it was pretty fun to watch.
Pretty much summarize that series, I'd say. That Boone ejection wasn't even, I don't know. Just, he wasn't the one who said anything, gets thrown out, and just, I don't know. It's unreal, and, the Yankees just didn't perform either. I don't know. Just all sums up everything, I feel like.
Yeah.
And then, so let's just round up these awards here with our Pinstripe Performer of the Series. Do you have one, Mike?
I think I got one. I'm gonna give it. I believe I gave it to this guy already once, but I'm gonna give it to Jose Trevino. Again, he's just been really solid. The catching, the hitting from the catchers hasn't been great, but seeing him now bounce back from under a 100 batting average, batting like around 400 in his past like 8 games or so, he's been really solid. Got a few hits in this series as well. Hit a homer as well. And yeah, I think he's just been, it's something refreshing. Someone at the bottom of the lineup, getting it done.
Yeah. And he's another guy who needs to step up. We want him to step up. He provides production. But, there's competition at his position too. So it's good to see him step up here for this series at least too.
You got one?
My Pinstripe Performer of the series. I was going back and forth on this, but I think I will give it to Rizzo. A guy who hasn't had the super start to the season. So for him to get a good series going, I don't know. I thought he might have deserved it. Obviously, back-to-back games with a homer. I think 3 out of 4 games from the series he had a hit too. So I think maybe it will be a spark. He could get going, but with the poor start to his season and the injuries he's had, I guess I think it's good to see him get something positive going.
Yeah, for sure. Like you said, we need the production from him. At that catcher spot, it'd be very helpful. The bottom of the order. Yeah, I think a couple good choices there from us. Looking ahead, got the Brewers in a weekend series, 3-game series. On the mound for us will be Luis Gil tonight, Carlos Rodon, and Marcus Stroman, ending it on Sunday. And for the Brewers, we got Colin Ray, Joe Ross, and Tobias Myers. Their rotation is beat up, so hopefully we can take advantage of some of these guys. Playing a team that's got a 16-8 record, so they're really good. Hopefully we can snag this series, get back atop the AL East. But yeah, it'll definitely be interesting to see how we play against another really good team in the Brewers.
Yeah, big series coming up. I think big game tonight. Interesting to see how he'll pitches again. I'm curious. We'll say this now. High strikeout guy early. Curious to see if he does that again. Through 4, he usually has 8 strikeouts. I'm trying to think. Like, I don't know. I want to do some prediction, but I don't know. I can't think.
Definitely want him to bounce back after last outing where he gave up a bunch of walks and his control was nowhere to be found. But yeah, other than that, got to see some strikeouts from him. Hopefully can keep the Brewers lineup in check, which has been really good so far.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so big series coming up. Honestly, big road trip coming up because then they face the Orioles next. But moral of the story for this series versus the A's, the offense is still not really up to par, can't really be found, and the pitching has surprised a lot of people, I'd say.
Yeah.
Got to figure it out.
Yeah, offense definitely got to figure it out. Rotation, top 3 ERA in the league, and the bullpen doing their part as well. Let's see if we can get that offense to bounce back and start heating up tonight.
Hopefully they pull through. That's all we got for today. We will see you after the Brewers series. Go Yanks.
Peace.